We are back for part 3 of Slated Princess. At the end of part 2, Shifty told me that I won't be able to make the same decisions anymore. So with that, obviously it makes sense because you can't just do the exact same sequence indefinitely and have this be complete. If you're going to bring new perspectives, the game has to have a mechanic to cut you off. But what I don't know is at what point am I going to be cut off? Like, maybe chapter 3, I had the epilogue last time. Is there an alternative version of that chapter 3 that I do not know yet? Maybe that's what I can get, or maybe it's going to block me off at an earlier stage. There's only one way to find out, is to just get this started.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed. How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be of threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end. You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Okay, I'll be here. Good luck.
I'm not sure if I should just be skipping through all the dialogue I've seen before or just let it play out for anybody who just wants to watch the video go through. If anyone is watching this and is going to comment about that, just tell me what I should be doing for the future videos.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that. Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
I just noticed something. My mouse cursor, it has a blade in it, but the blade has a red tip just like this because it got blood on it. So this is my mouse cursor is always updating itself based on how your hand is in the game.
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
No. Of all the things that can be cut off from being a repeat decision, it's not going to let me get some alternative version of freeing the princess. It looks like I'm going to be forced to fight her, and then I got to find a way to make peace with her if I want to deliver a good perspective to Shifty. At least she realized that I was being possessed to begin with, so maybe it's not going to be too difficult to make peace with her in the next chapter.
There's no getting through to you right now, is there? A betrayal of will is still a betrayal. You'll regret thinking of me as a helpless damsel.
This is not a betrayal of will. This is against my will.
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart.
Were her nails always like this? She's transforming in real time, actually. She was able to turn into a phantom during that nightmare run, before even entering Chapter 2.
It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth, somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh and sinew with ease. You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground beneath you. She stares down at your ravaged form, eyes shining in the darkness, dress stained in red as her blood and yours both seep into the fabric. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, it will kill her before she can reach the outside world. It can't just end like this, right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
And my cursor just changed from a blade to the hand.
You're on a
So
path
yeah,
in the woods.
your cursor
And
actually
at the end of
changes
that
based on if
path
you got a
is
weapon
a
or not.
cabin.
So
And
if
in
for
the
any
basement
reason,
of that cabin is a princess.
I shouldn't be speaking over. Okay, narrator's done talking. Alright, so for anyone who's playing this, if you for some reason don't remember if you have the knife or not, just look at your mouse cursor and that'll tell you if you got the blade.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
None of these choices gives me the option to call out the narrator for screwing me over. I guess I'm just gonna click this and see what's said.
I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show.
Alright, Voice of the Opportunist is a new one.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't worry, you can trust us to get the job done. The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Alright, so like I learned from the encounter with Nightmare, I am going to need this blade if this current version of the princess I'm about to encounter, if she doesn't want to make peace and I am only able to leave as her captive, then I need the blade. That's not a perspective that I want to deliver. And the current version of her, I think I'm going to need this, because it seemed like she was kind of blaming me as if it was my will to kill her, so I don't know how understanding she's going to be here.
You take the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it. That's not actually a bad idea. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite. But you are. You're a wretched little thing. I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below.
This does not really look like a witch. This is more like some sort of a beast with this tail. Paws, tail. I'm not really sure what this stuff is spiking out of her. Twigs? And actually, she's even like backed up in the corner, like that saying, an animal backed in the corner. I don't know why this one is labeled a witch instead of a beast or something like that, but the read I'm getting out of this is that she is very, very much ready to attack. Or I just gotta be extremely cautious. Let me think about it a little more. If she is more like an animal instead of a witch, an animal backed in the corner isn't just immediately attacking you. So maybe there's still hope to make peace with this one.
You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
You made a comment back in the woods about having been here before. Now she's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy.
Alright, voice of the opportunist. I'm definitely liking this so far. But actually, I don't know. I don't really trust the opportunist, but at least this one, unlike the narrator, he wants to actually speak with her and try and, like he said, make everyone happy. I want to make peace with her so I can deliver a good perspective that's healthy for Shifty at the end of the game.
Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Okay, I'm going to start off with this one. There's another option I want to say, but just for the sake of what's going to make a more natural flow, I'll just start off with this.
Ooh, smart. Let's apologize, get us back on the right foot.
Oh, you're sorry. Isn't that nice? You're such a gracious little monster. If you're sorry, then let me out of here. Prove it. I suppose you didn't come into my hovel of your own accord, did you? All right. I suppose I could team up. I need a way out after all, and unfortunately, you're the only one I have.
Seems to me like she's offering a mutually beneficial arrangement. We should take it.
There's just something about his wording that I just don't trust this guy. I mean, he is called the opportunist, so maybe I am supposed to get the feeling that he's just looking to backstab. And actually, for all I know, he might possess me like the narrator has and like the voice of the Smitten has.
Do you know what the word mutually means? Because it sounds to me like she's offering an arrangement that benefits her and her alone.
I'm not expecting an honest answer, or at least something that's not going to be laced with a whole lot of sarcasm. But I need some way to measure her attitude towards me, so I'm going to ask her this question.
And why would I do such a thing? Is someone's guilty conscience getting to them? But I wouldn't worry. As much as I may hate you, letting you live is in my best interests. If you get me out of here, the only thing that will be dead and buried is the bad blood between us.
Oh, that nagging feeling you mentioned is me, by the way. I'm actually a little anxious about a potential backstabbing event.
He's mind reading me? Did he just mind read me?
She needs us to get out of here. We'll be fine if that's what we decide to do. You won't be fine because destruction is in her nature. If she gets out of here, that's it for the world, remember? Even if that's true, that doesn't automatically mean she's going to stab us in the back. I think that depends on your definition of words like stab and in the back. She might not literally do that, but she could very well symbolically do the same thing.
Symbolically do the same thing. I need to cook for a moment. You know what? I don't really know what symbolically stabbing me in the back would look like in this game, so I got nothing right now.
See? He gets it. There's nothing wrong with looking out for number one.
I know I'm not gonna get a good answer out of this. I know a question like this one actually angered, what was it, Spectre? A similar question. Not gonna use this because it's possibly gonna sour her mood more. So, I'm just telling her to go and gnaw at her arm again.
Oh, of course. They're nothing to me.
The princess grins as the chains fall from her wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. She knows how to hold her cards close to her chest. This is why she can't just be abandoned here. If left to her own devices, she'll find a way out. Now stop her.
Why doesn't this narrator understand that she cannot leave without me? these two remaining options, I don't think they're gonna help anything. And it's leaving me with the option to leave with her, with myself holding a blade, or leave with her holding the blade. So if my goal here is to make peace with a princess to deliver the best possible perspective, this one here is the best test of it. Maybe I'm able to leave without giving her the blade. Maybe she does just leave with me and then I deliver the vessel, but I don't think the perspective that I'm delivering to Shifty is going to be very broad if I do that. Now, if I give her the blade and then we get out of there that way, I believe that I'm going to deliver a much better perspective that way. So, I got to take my chance with this, but I do not trust her.
You can't be serious.
Also, in normal circumstances, nobody just says, I have to give her the blade because I do not trust her. Like, yeah, this is just I'm lost for words.
Now, hold on. We should put this to a vote. The blade is one of our most valuable assets. We can't just give it to her. What if she uses it to kill us? I vote no. As do I. I abstain. You abstain. She's going to kill us if we give it to her.
Are these voices supposed to be some mirror of the Chapter 2 version of the princess that we get? Voice of the Smitten was the ultimate simp, and that turned out to be the complete, perfect fairy tale damsel. The voice of the opportunist, this guy, I just do not trust him, I do not trust her. They're in sync. The other previous vessels that I ran into, I didn't really get such a synergy vibe between them, but I'm seeing something with this voice of the opportunist and also the previous one with the Smitten. So if that is the case, she is going to kill us right now. It's too... I don't think I can just say no at this point. I mean, obviously, if this was a real scenario, I would actually be dead, but I already know that we're just gonna loop into a Chapter 3 if she kills me, which she probably is gonna do. Alright, time to bury my own grave.
You're going to get everyone killed, you know that, right? But of course you do.
Yeah, he's right.
You toss the blade at the princess's feet. She eyes it with suspicion before kneeling down to pick it up.
I wouldn't have done that. Why did you?
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face.
What do you think happens now?
Okay, all of these options are interesting. Now this one I'm not saying because I did not choose to kill her. I got possessed by the narrator. Now this one, this is definitely my answer. Oh, I just got distracted by the headset. Something just sounded way too real. But yeah, anyway, this is the one that I would personally say myself, because this is the kind of diplomacy attempt that I'm trying to make with my mission to make peace and deliver the best perspectives possible. Now this one, I want to say this just to trigger the narrator. It's really, really, really tempting. And then right here, this is just exactly the vibe that I've been getting with that voice of the opportunist and how he and her are mirroring each other so well. So the fact that this is here is how we know that it's by design with this game that they want us to get that vibe, because I definitely did. And it might just be the indicator that, I don't know, maybe some of these are going to get me killed and some of them aren't. But I'm pretty sure that one like this would actually provoke that outcome to happen. Now anyway, I just gotta decide, do I want to trigger the narrator? I really want to trigger the narrator. Because this guy, he keeps possessing me, he keeps lying about what he knows. He's sending me here to kill the princess because he thinks he's gonna destroy the world, but she can't even leave without me. It's not even necessary for me to go here. Like, this narrator has a twisted murder fetish that he wants me and her to be a part of. And if I can just go and turn this into a love story to trigger him, I really want to do that, but this is more true to my approach. Alright, I'm hoping that I'm able to go through more of these before some outcome happens. So, if there's a chance that this is going to provoke her to killing me, then that's going to happen before I can even say this. If I say this one, I might have a chance to choose one of these other options afterwards. So this is the safer option to go with.
Her shoulders tense and her eyes dart away.
This is another trick. You're trying to sow doubt, but it's not going to work on me.
And then she buries the blade in your heart.
I called it, I semi-called it wrong. I had a feeling that I was gonna get stabbed by her one way or another, but I didn't think that question or that option was gonna do it.
What? No, come on, that's not right. I told you this is what she was going to do.
I believe you, bro.
Glee
I never
dances
doubted
across
you.
her face as you fall to the ground.
I did it. I got you. You...
The princess seems to tremble, her smile fading quickly, replaced with concern. Her nervous eyes brim with tears.
Why? Why did you let me do this?
I can fix her. We still got this. I can fix her.
But you don't have the strength to respond, nor do you have the time. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Past life gambit. Couldn't read it all
You're
before
on
it
a
went
path
away.
in the woods. I can't believe she actually stabbed us. I told you not to give her the blade. I told you it would come around to bite us. I voted against it. Yeah, we know. You already got your I told you so's in while we were bleeding out. I just wanted to make sure that everyone here knows that I was and am on the right side of that argument.
I never doubted you, bro.
Oh, you're far from being on the right side of anything. You're fixated on the past, whereas what you should be is fixated on the future.
It's this fucking guy again. The music is a familiar tone, but a little different.
Ho ho, a visionary. I like it. Tell me more. Gladly, my dear fellow. By cruelly turning on the princess in her moment of vulnerability, we made ourselves an enemy. But by mastering our fear and insecurity and handing over our power, we've begun a journey to something so much deeper.
I'm just gonna have to listen for a while and drink water.
I like journeys. Travelling is a bit of a passion of mine. It makes me so relatable. Now, where are we off to? Well, if we're lucky, it's a journey to love. She hates us. Does she? She hesitated before stabbing us to death.
That's not the main detail I picked up. The main detail was how she reacted after she was finished. But if the voices that we gain has some sort of effect on what we see with her next, then the fact that the Smitten is here may actually be indicative that I can fix her. I can save her.
Maybe she won't be as keen to betray us this time. We've already proven to her that we can change, so maybe she'll realise that things don't have to end in violence. You know, maybe you're right, in which case I suppose the only thing to do is to get back to the cabin and give it another try. Give what another try exactly? You are aware I've been listening to you, right? It makes no difference if we conspire in the shadows or bear our intentions with open hearts. We are breaking your cruel cycle and whisking her away to freedom. Oh, are you now? Great, so you've obviously been here before, since you apparently died at least once. Twice, actually. Sure. Twice. Then I'll spare you the little introduction I had planned. You already know about the princess, and clearly you already know that she's dangerous. So don't muck this up. It's bad enough that this isn't your first time through.
If she is hostile and wants to destroy the world, then I can't free her. That's not the way I'm playing this, so really this is the more accurate answer, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to free her this time. I can fix her.
Yes, good. Playing both sides. That's what smart people do, and you're the smartest in the room. I'm not sure it counts as playing both sides if people can hear you doing it. Buddy, you're thinking in far too few dimensions. There's layers to doing this right, and I'm pretty sure the one making the choices gets that. Trust in the plan. Trust in what plan? The Decider's plan. Sure, we don't know what the plan is yet, but that's part of the whole trusting thing, isn't it? A good leader knows how and when to keep things secret, and sometimes a good leader even knows to keep things secret from himself.
Inception.
There isn't a plan, and that's the whole point. We're supposed to be guided by emotion. We're supposed to passionately live in the moment, and I'm sure that when the time comes, those passions will tell us to set our darling princess free. If I were you, I'd remember what she's done. You know how dangerous she is. You should know that someone like her shouldn't be let loose upon the world.
Alright, time to go.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the base of the cabin. I think it's clear where everyone stands at this point. I don't know if I'd say everyone. You talking about me? I have a position. It's a good one too. Ignore him, he's just talking for talking's sake. My position is the only one that matters. The princess is a threat to you. She's a threat to me, and most importantly, she's a threat to the world. You know what you have to do. The interior of the cabin is hardly an interior at all anymore. The burned-out ruins merely suggest the shape of the structure that once stood here, charred wood still reeking of ash. But beneath it lies the fresh smell of spring growth after rain, the promise of new life in the wreckage of the old. The only furniture of note is the crisp shell of what was once a table, a pristine... Wait, this isn't right. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? We gave it to her last time. She can't still have it, can she? Well, it's not here. And if she has it... Let me guess. You want to get all chummy with her. Look, as far as I see it, if it's between him and her, I say we side with the one who has the weapon. It's just the smart thing to do. I wouldn't be so hasty. I'm sure the blade will turn up somewhere. She can't have it. That's not how this is supposed to work.
I really just thought that it was windy outside. It's actually the headset and the game.
If she does have it, that's all the more reason to put our faith in her. We have already shown her our heart. Now she has to show us hers.
Yeah, I remember what you did in the previous cycle, Smitten.
Unless her heart tells her to stab us, which doesn't seem unlikely, so yes, I agree. Let's make sure we get on her good side. You step forward and approach the scorched entryway leading to the basement, hesitating before you begin the descent. You know what you have to do. Wipe away the grit from the mirror, and behold our handsome features. You reach forward and wave your hand through the hollow entrance leading to the basement. What are you doing? Alas, our fine features remain unseen. We'll just have to trust that she'll find us beautiful as we are.
Unseen. What is the whole thing about the mirrors? I haven't figured out the mirror thing yet. But that actually is a good word sticking out here.
Well, seems like the only way to go is forward, isn't it? Yes, that's where everything tends to be. Let's just put on a good face and have our wits about us. You step through the frame of scorched wood and make your way into the darkness below. The stairs to the basement are covered in a fine layer of gritty ash. The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only recently been extinguished. Yet fresh shoots of thorny branches are already weaving themselves through the soot-covered earth of the walls around you. Their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease, at least on the way down. But you don't need to think about the way back up just yet. That's a matter for after the world's been saved. These thorns are an expression of her pain. I know it. She's calling out for help. Her voice, worn down by pain and suspicion, hobbles up the stairs.
I can't get away from you, can I? You betray me, I kill you, and you come back. You let me kill you, and you come back. I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me.
I'm here to save you.
I think you know how this goes. I'm down here and I can't leave. So, come down and talk. It's not like I can stop you.
You continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way forward. You step out into what was once a vast open cavern, now overrun by briars and prickles and thistles, the space thick with hostile vegetation. At the heart of it all, encased in a tight weave of vines, is the princess, her bloody, trembling hands clutching a pristine blade.
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer? Are you here to laugh?
No. Considering that she is just gonna be trapped in the cabin if I were to have never gone there, this is definitely one of the worst ones to be in.
I want to trust you.
Her grip tightens on the blade.
But you're hiding something, aren't you? Why would you help me if you weren't helping yourself?
The princess clutches the blade closer to her chest.
That sounds nice. I'm so tired of the bad blood between us, but it's hard to let it go. You've hurt me.
Her eyes dart away from yours for a brief moment.
And I've also hurt you. I don't know. What can either of us really say at this point? How can we trust something as hollow as words?
I mean, it's a good point. I know stuff as a player who's gone through multiple loops, but the princess right now, she isn't gonna understand why I'm on a mission to free her.
She's right, there's nothing left to say. So let's get a move on and do something before she comes up with a scheme to get out of here on her own. We don't need words to send a message. It is through action that we can show her our adoration, our devotion, our kindness.
I just get the feeling that this might just come off as too forward or intimidating. I just get the feeling like I might end up getting stabbed if I pick this one.
Her eyes briefly meet yours, then dart back to the floor. She hangs her head in resignation.
Okay.
You reach towards her bloodied hands, laying your palm on her trembling fingers. For a moment, she clutches it even tighter, her knuckles going white with the effort. But then the tension fades. Her grip finally loosens and she allows you to take the weapon. You carefully pull it free from the thorns, though they scrape at your skin, leaving red trickles of fresh blood all along your arms. She trusts us. She trusts us. Doesn't that set your heart aflutter? Yeah, a little. It could just be nerves. Being this close to her does bring back unpleasant memories, but I don't know, it doesn't feel bad. It feels good. Like we're special to her. We are special to have gained an ounce of trust from a maiden so guarded. Now all that remains is to free her from her bindings. Yeah, let's do it. Let's show her how much both of us have changed. Or, hear me out, we slay her. Right here, right now. She's never been so helpless, and if we don't take advantage of that, we may never get another chance. That sounds like a splendid idea. You should listen to him. I see that the lines have been drawn. It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 2. You don't count. And why shouldn't he count? Because he's clearly not one of us. That doesn't matter. He's been with us the whole time. He should get a say.
So, did you mean it? Or was I a fool to hand my life to you?
Yes, what a good idea. Let's cut her free. Oh, so you're suddenly team free her? You can't just switch sides as soon as we make a decision. I can do whatever I want, and I believe with my whole heart that this is the right course of action. Let's free this princess. Everyone deserves a chance at redemption. Let him join us and be merry. We are all united by our passion. That's right, what he said. We've already given him a chance at redemption. And who says I don't deserve another? I really mean it this time. I'm big enough to admit when I'm wrong. So I want to help you all free her. And I have no problem with that. Welcome to the team. You're one of us now. One of the good guys. You take the blade to the thorny vines imprisoning the princess, and she flinches, relaxing only slightly as the blade slices into the thick vegetation rather than her arm. And she flinches again as the last of the vines is cut away, as if, after all of that, she's still expecting you to turn on her and stab her in the heart. Such a pathetic attempt at distraction and subterfuge. Our blade is a dashing sword, and every dashing sword is an extension of its hero. It won't slip. You're right. He can't even make it slip, can he? He's a bit of a nobody. Good thing I've been on your side of all this since the princess falls into your arms, tears streaking down her cheeks. I can't believe you're making me describe this. I hate you.
You actually meant it. You rescued me.
Do you see the way she's looking at us? Kiss her. Kiss her now before the moment ends.
You know what? I gotta do this one for the narrator. This one's for the narrator.
Can we actually do that? No, you can't. Absolutely not. You know as well as I do that we can. And we wouldn't want to throw away a chance for a special moment, now would we? If I were only capable of throwing myself off a bridge. Well, are you going to describe our steamy, romantic kiss? You lean in and you kiss her. And she reciprocates enthusiastically. You kiss. It's done. Are you happy now? Come on now, this is the big moment. You can do better than that. Ugh, fine. You and the princess lock eyes and stare deep into each other's souls with all the roaring emotion that comes from letting what once was hatred turn into pure, unbridled passion. Are you making fun of us? And then each of you close your eyes and kiss. Words can describe neither the nuclear fire nor the oceanic depth of your connection. Please. I think he actually likes romance. If history itself were not about to end, historians would document this moment for the rest of time. Musicians would write era-defining ballads, and great artists would expend entire lifetimes trying to merely capture the spark you hold right now. He's making fun of us. It doesn't matter either way, because this is good stuff. I'm aware of my skills. But unfortunately for you, the moment doesn't last forever. You open your eyes, the princess smiles gently up at you. Time for you to damn the whole world to oblivion, I suppose.
That was nice.
Her hand slips into yours, and the two of you rush to the basement stairs. Shameful, really, that the same thorns that so graciously allowed you downstairs are now blocking your only way out. Please, after all the trials we've been through, do you really think a few measly thorns can stop us? Love is an even more powerful weapon than our blade. We cut through those other vines just fine. They're only thorns. I'm not afraid of getting a few scrapes. I'm not even sure we need to do any cutting. We can just move them out of the way. What a pathetic showing, really.
A few pointy sticks can't keep us down here. We're both meant for so much more than this.
As you swing your blade into the thorns covering the basement stairs, they yield. Both you and the princess ascend the stairs without obstacle. This is unacceptable. The second you step out of this cabin with her, the world ends. Do you hear me? What did the world ever do to you to deserve this? Your nightmare is our dream. Whatever world would condemn star-crossed lovers like us to a cycle of violence and despair isn't a world worth saving. We'll weave something new together. Something better. You and the princess hesitate at the cabin door. This is your last chance. We've already made our decision.
We're finally leaving here together, aren't we? And all we had to do was trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
Hands clasped, the two of you open the door and step out into a new day, you irredeemable murderers.
What do we do now? Where's everything going? Why is it so cold?
she's gone, and there's that. But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right? If they think it's bad, I'm with them. Okay. If she'll be there waiting for us, I just know it. Finally.
I still don't understand the whole thing with the mirror yet. And why am I withering and decaying? Didn't I just deliver a good vessel? I don't know what this is about yet.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Okay, I'm gonna start with the top two options first.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it. As easily as you can stand to be you, you are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit, even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul. It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
The music is too loud right now. I'm pretty sure that saying yes to this one would make you a masochist, but when you really look at the context of this vessel that I brought, it does fit in pretty well. Then I kinda liked being possessed by the specter, so yep, I guess this is my answer.
It says that your heart is gentle, that even in the darkness you are guided by compassion.
Thank you.
This one yearns for connection she feels she doesn't deserve. Even when shown compassion, she hid herself away. She will make for a cautious heart.
Taking notes.
Do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore.
Okay, got all of that noted, keeping track of what Shifty is going to turn into at the end of all this. If my idea is correct that she's going to be a result of all these perspectives, then gotta make sense of this all later on.
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done. The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me. We will know when we near our destination. I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you. The tides do not dictate where they are pulled. A river does not dictate its outlets. My gift to you is to let you choose your path, and my task is to treasure the gifts you bring me. I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
All right, that concludes part 3. I think I'm going to give it a shot and record part 4 while I'm at it, but that'll be a separate video.